welcome to Nightmare Stories of the Other Side. Joining us today, we have Grady Hughes, co-founder of Grey Duck Paranormal, founded in 2023. The group has been on 10 investigations, ranging from the Mounds Theater in St. Paul to the Trans-Allegheny Asylum in West Virginia. Their group focuses on gathering real, raw, and exciting evidence of the paranormal. Well, Grey Duck, Grady. Tell us a little more about yourself.
I'm glad. Thanks for having me, first of all. I'm glad you got that reference. So, congratulations. What?
Someone did not help me.
Calm yourselves over there.
Okay, now calm down now. You started laughing, so I started laughing.
Good Lord. So, yeah, I don't know what. Basically, born and raised here in Minnesota, and kind of grew up interested in the paranormal because I watched shows like Unsolved Mysteries and those types of things growing up. So I guess I've always kind of been somewhat interested in the paranormal from a young age. I've had some personal experiences throughout my life as well, which kind of added to that interest. Probably with most people, I would say my interest really peaked with the advent of the popular television shows out there. I'm not going to name them by names, but everybody knows what those are and who they're about and things like that. So, um, and finally, yeah, I've always been kind of deeply rooted in like science and always been a very logical thinker. So I like to bring that with me on my investigations and really kind of focus not necessarily on the things that people will scream at and find just exciting and things that you would see on like I said before like TV shows and things, but really focus on really the um the hardcore kind of evidence, the interesting stuff, at least from my perspective. So yeah, I guess that's a little bit about me. And like you said, we've been around since about late 2023 and still going strong.
All right, so I know a lot of the history of you guys just because I've known you for ever and a day.
Yeah.
So I'll go back to late 2023 when you guys decided to form the group and, you know, just like who was all involved in that and how that whole process started.
Yeah. So my brother Griffin and we had always kind of talked about, well, we both kind of grew up watching the shows and things like that. And we always joked like, it'd be really fun, really crazy to like start our own group and go around the country and visit these places and kind of do what they're doing. They look like they're having a lot of fun or whatever. And we joked about that for many years. We at one point went on a very amateurish investigation in a cemetery in the middle of the night and had kind of the what scared out of us. So, but finally, credit to my brother and his wife. Now they kind of just bit the bullet. They said, you know what, we're going to research to see kind of how we can get this ball rolling. And so they kind of did some digging online um, and found a place down in Iowa. It's very well known. Obviously, you guys know about it, Edinburgh Manor. Very well known haunted location. And they reached out to the owner and just said, hey, we're just starting out, getting a team together. What does it take, to come there and do an overnight? And lo and behold, they replied and they said, just give us some money. And you guys can come on down and have the place for the night and kind of do what you want. Obviously, to a certain extent, but it's yours for a night. So they set that up and then kind of reached out to me and said, "Hey, we're starting this up. We're going." And I was all in. So that kind of is the uneventful, unexciting start to how that kind of got the ball going. And initially, we were going to call ourselves Hughes Haunts, and the idea behind it obviously was that it was kind of a family thing. My brother, his wife, myself, my wife, a couple of my brother's friends came with. So I kind of was like, yeah, maybe we should kind of pick a name that doesn't sound like it's so only inclusive of people in the family. So on the drive down to Edinburgh Manor, we were kind of brainstorming ideas, and I came up, I was like, what about Grey Duck Paranormal? Something kind of off the wall, something a little memorable, something kind of that harkens back to Minnesota because that's where we're all from. Also keeping to the paranormal theme, obviously. So, and it just kind of, just kind of stuck. And so on the way to our first investigation, we came up with the team name. So, yeah.
Yeah. Nice, simple story, simple roots.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
All right. So for your guys' first investigation at Edinburgh,
Mhm.
I'm not for sure if Laurel's watched that video, but I know the rest of us have.
Yeah.
Can you kind of, you have to
No, I have not.
kind of talked about that to us? You haven't?
No, I only watched the ones with people in it. And
Well, what the
very
heck?
painful.
Look at her.
I watched them against my will
Mhm.
because I
Wow.
did not want to watch them.
Wow. You can see where I rate.
Yeah. The first investigation at Edinburgh, obviously we were very new. We didn't have a ton of equipment. We had like one really good camera and a couple of kind of iffy ones. I think I had a spirit box and an EMF meter, I think. So we were very I don't want to say like unprepared. Obviously you can go and use whatever equipment you want or what equipment you have, but it was totally kind of just on the fly kind of thing. So, but I remember we pulled up and I remember seeing it for the first time and just kind of getting, kind of the butterflies in your stomach. You're like, oh my gosh, this is really happening,
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
drive up to Edinburgh is very intimidating when you see it for the first time. It's like,
Yes.
oh crap.
Yep. You come around that curve and you're like, oh Jesus, there it is. So, yeah, and I remember when we walked in the door, um, my brother and I kind of looked at each other, and he after the fact, put it perfectly. He said, "This is a whole different ball game." So, it's I mean, you guys have been there, so you know what it is. You know how it feels and stuff. But yeah, when you walk through that door, it's like, oh man, this is a pretty serious place. So it wasn't, all fun and games anymore. We were there and we were inside of it, and it got creepy pretty quick. So um yeah, I I remember during the first walkthrough that we got of the building, we started hearing disembodied voices like almost immediately. And that's that's when it really hit home. It was like, okay, here we go. This is what it's all about. This is what we're here for. So we got to work, set up the camera and stuff. And yeah, one of our investigators that was with us at the time had been on some previous investigations, so he had some experience doing this kind of thing. Wes is his name. He's appeared. Actually, he's been on Project or Destination Fear. Yeah,
Get it right.
he was. Yep, he was in an episode of that briefly, and So he's done some things like that. So we really kind of relied on him, to start off with, and kind of show us the ropes a little bit. But I did a solo investigation that first night. My brother was in the basement by himself that first night. So I mean, we really kind of jumped head in, or head first into it, and it was a lot of fun. It was very intimidating. It was scary, but it was a lot of fun, and we had some pretty good evidence. My favorite EVP that we've ever gotten actually was that night. Um, my brother and Wes were sitting together, and there's a moment where they were kind of just talking amongst themselves, and in between them talking, they stopped for like 2 or 3 seconds, and there's an EVP. It says, "Help me." And I remember hearing that for the first time, and I remember seeing it, on our video for the first time. It's probably my favorite EVP that we've gotten because it's clear. It's you can hear it very easily, and it's like a perfect EVP. So it's one of my favorites. So,
Very
but yeah,
nice. Wow. Nice.
Were you gonna ask something, Carrie? You look like you had a thought on your mind.
yeah.
Well, I was just wondering. I mean, you said it was your favorite EVP. So I was just curious on which tool that you use is your favorite. Do you like to get the voice recordings or?
Yeah, I do. I like the voice recorders. I have 3 of them right now. Um, I think, yeah, that's probably my favorite. I do like the Spirit Box, but I do think probably the voice recorder, yeah, is my favorite. There's something about EVPs that I just find absolutely fascinating. Um, like I said, with Wes and my brother Griffin sitting there, and they're all alone in that part of the building, and all of a sudden there's just a crystal clear voice, and it's like, where is that voice, coming from? So, it's wild. The idea that you can pick up on a voice, that is apparently, allegedly from a person who's physically not there is absolutely wild. Um, I think it's probably one of the most convincing pieces of evidence that we can get. You can make arguments for even like a spirit box. Well, you're just picking up DJs talking or pieces of a song coming through or whatever, that kind of thing. SLS, well, it's just mapping out a random piece of furniture and, there's the figure. Um, Orbs or dust, all that kind of stuff. When you get a real solid EVP like that, it's very hard to just try and make that make sense from a scientific and logical, standpoint. It's nobody's talking, nothing's there. It's not just kind of garbled white noise where you're picking out that kind of sounds like a word. I mean, it's just like help me. It's just there. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I think that's probably why I really like using recorders. It's just absolutely fascinating to me. So yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. What's your favorite?
I haven't been on enough investigations to really play with everything.
Yeah.
I do like. I agree with you with the spirit box and even on camera. You can get a
Hmm.
light, that kind of stuff. I like getting stuff that's you can't debunk or
Yeah.
refute. It's what else could it be? And
Yep.
yeah, the voice recorders are really good for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Love it.
So then after Edinburgh, you guys decided to go back down to Iowa. Where was that location for, Natalie?
Yeah. So after Edinburgh, I can't remember.
Don't look at me like that.
I think it was a couple months later. We went down to Farrar Elementary.
And that was a quiet scream.
She wants to go there so bad. Not just because of who bought it, but
Let's be real. She wants to go there because of who bought it.
That's not the only reason. You're mean.
Yeah.
Who bought it?
Sam and Colby.
Ah,
Yep. Unfortunately. Anyway, so yeah, we went there before they bought it, obviously. But yeah, that was our second investigation, was for our elementary, again in Iowa. I don't know what it is about Iowa, but they have a lot of good
I
spots
know. Why
apparently.
can't Minnesota be like that?
I know. Yeah, I was hearing you guys' last conversation and talking about how Minnesota is so, like dodgy with opening up
Yeah.
locations. So yeah, but
Um,
yeah, for our it was it was uh, it was different. It was different than Edinburgh. It wasn't like the same kind of like oppressive, like ew, bad stuff kind of happened here, kind of just icky feeling. It very much just felt like an abandoned, empty schoolhouse. We didn't have like a ton of activity. It was a little on the quiet side. We did have late in the night. We did have three like audible screams, all within about 3 minutes of each other, and didn't know where they came from. Didn't know what was making them. We were all up on the top floor, and it sounded like somebody down, maybe down on the bottom floor, was like screaming. It was quite odd, but that was by far, like, when we left that night, that was what we thought. That's all we got. We were like, it was kind of a quiet night except for that, three disembodied screams, so that's it, But um, compared to Edinburgh, at least, it was a little quiet. So, but lo and behold, after everybody's favorite, part of the investigation, evidence review, yay! Um, we got three pretty good EVPs down in the boiler room, where it's alleged that grumpy janitor is down there. Um,
No, it's
and
not.
what's that?
She said that's you,
Oh,
referring to
yeah.
my past profession.
Yes. I That's immediately what I thought too. I was like, why is Matt here? No, I'm just kidding. Um, odd. And we did get some interesting kind of like, light anomalies and things like that. But really, it was kind of the three screams, and then the three. It's coming in threes, but three screams, and then the three EVPs in the boiler room, um, which are really interesting because they were very relevant to the location. One of the EVPs said, "Hey kid, come here." Um, Now I'm blanking on what they said. Anyway, they all had something to do with like kids. And obviously being in a schoolhouse, and down in like the janitor's area and stuff like that, it was very weird. It was very kind of cool that it was so relevant, but also kind of creepy sounding. And the boiler room, I would say, I said the building itself doesn't have like a super creepy vibe to it. Boiler room did have a little bit of a weird vibe to it, but um I don't, maybe it's just because it was so dark in there. I don't know, but um, yeah. So we left there, like I said, not really expecting that we got a whole lot, but after the evidence review, pouring through the video and audio, we did get three really good EVPs, so that was pretty fun. Yeah, and we were hoping to go back, maybe, and maybe we will, but now that Sam and Colby bought it, now it's super expensive. So, but I don't know. We'll see. So,
Well, I got a inside person that kind of does stuff there, so maybe we can figure something out.
yeah, there you go. Okay, okay. You and Sam text on the side, don't you?
Oh yeah, he's on my speed dial.
Okay.
Hmm.
The person's name does start with an S, but it is not Sam.
Hmm.
What stupid is that about the person I'm thinking of?
We'll talk later.
I don't know
Oh
who you're
boy.
talking about, but I don't.
No, no. Well, she
Now
was,
I'm scared.
you should be.
Oh, great.
Oh boy.
You never know with this one.
I will say Farrar was very cold while we were there. It was late October, obviously in the middle of the night. It was pretty cold. By the end of the night we were all kind of freezing. So, but it's fun. It's always fun going to these places, even if it's kind of cold or rainy or whatever the situation is. It's always fun because you always have that adrenaline running through you, and you just never really know what to expect, especially the first time.
Yeah.
You just never know, and I don't know. There's something special about going to these places. It's fun. So yeah.
So then after Farrar, you kind of, I can't remember what was after Farrar again.
The bus museum,
Yeah,
actually.
that's right.
Yeah, four of us went up to the bus museum, Greyhound Bus Museum up in Hibbing, which was a lot of fun. It was a very, very unique location, something that you wouldn't expect, to be haunted. Um, but Griffin got an EVP off of his video, off the audio from his video recorder from his camera that said the word tickets right as he was standing next to the door of a bus. And again, it's very clear, it's there. And it's just completely weird because him and I were the only people in the building at the time, and neither of us was talking, and it just all of a sudden just said tickets, just like that. And it's like, wow, that's super relevant. That's super weird, super cool. So, um, we had a pretty good spirit box session. We thought maybe we were talking to somebody who rode the bus to go join the army. Kind of had a pretty solid the question and answer session with somebody. Like I said, thought maybe they were in the army, went off to fight in a war. We've kind of got Vietnam out of it, and had some pretty relevant responses on there too. So that was really cool. It was a very cool location. Like I said, not something that you would expect, to be haunted necessarily, but sometimes those are really interesting locations, and it was a fun time. We really enjoyed that. So, um, and then after that, actually, then we went back to, I think it was Edinburgh again right after that with you, Matt.
Yeah.
So where we
That,
really froze to death. So
oh, that was bone chilling cold by the end of that night.
yeah.
It's like, oh, it's like I was happy to get out of there,
Happy.
but then it was kind of like, sad to leave at the same
Sad.
time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
Yeah.
investigation started off with a bang. Like right away when we were doing the walkthrough, you, Griffin, and I heard kids, what was it, running or laughing in the hallway or something?
It was the talking and the laughing. Yep. And then that's where I heard the running too downstairs.
Yeah. That's
Where
right.
I was going down to turn off the light, in the stairwell.
The lights.
Yeah.
And then I heard, thump 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 thump, like running, in the basement. Nobody was down there. Nobody else was really moving even. So it's pretty jarring, I would say.
Yeah, because I think at that point, like Rachel was just starting the live, and
Yeah.
everybody was down at the opposite end of the hall, and I think it was just you and I right by the stairs.
Yes. Yep. You were kind of at the top of the stairs. I had gone down that first step, the first set down to like the landing, and I turned the light off. I turned around, and then I hear thump 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 thump, quick, it was like, holy crap. So, that's probably one of my favorite experiences, though. Like in real time, like I was scared. I was like, oh my God, I thought something was running up the stairs at me.
Yeah.
And at the time, now going back and kind of reliving it in my mind, I'm pretty sure it was something running away from me further into the basement.
I would run away from you too.
So thank you. I know.
You're welcome.
You're not the only one. So good Lord. Matt, can you control your daughter? Like,
No.
Oh, how about you come over here and control your goddaughter?
no.
You have as much stake in this as I do.
Oh, please. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Yeah, and then I don't know. I don't know where it was after that now.
Well, I
Was
do
it
remember
Duluth?
one thing
Oh,
at
mountains. Mm.
Edinburgh
Yeah.
is when Griff and I were up in the puzzle room. One of the weirdest things that ever happened to me. It was probably getting close to 10 o'clock, and
Hmm.
I had turned my phone
Oh,
in the
that's right.
silent mode and airplane mode. But yet, when Natty and Emmy were calling me to say goodnight, my phone was actually ringing.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we're magic.
It's like, how is that even
Obviously.
possible?
We're
Yeah.
magic. That's why.
So,
We're magic.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Magically annoying.
Oh, thank you.
well, when it comes to investigations, she is kind of magic.
I've heard. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I know, I'm so cool.
Hmm. I've
Mm-hmm.
seen I've seen the videos. I know.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see
Yeah.
we'll see what happens to her this year.
Yeah. Where's your first stop this year?
Walnut House,
Oh, okay. All
yeah,
right.
March 22nd.
Nice. I've heard good things.
Yeah, we're excited. That's actually Chad's birthday, that either the 22nd or the 23rd. So it's gonna be a birthday investigation.
Fun.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So, and then we went to Mounds Theater, and then we did Duluth, the William Irvin, the ship up in the harbor up there,
Hotter than
and
hell.
then what's that?
Hotter than hell.
Yeah, yeah. It was what was it like 110 or something in the cargo hold or
Something
something,
like
and
that.
Yeah, what?
I remember just being drenched in sweat.
Great.
So
Yeah, so we've been in the freezing cold,
yeah, yeah,
chilling, and then our skin burning off.
yeah. One extreme and then the other. So yep. And then we did the road trip. So out east, Trans Allegheny, Waverly, Licking County Jail, and then here we are. Here I am. So yeah.
So any updates on the road trip videos and how those are coming along?
Yeah. So um I've I've reviewed and kind of set up the camera shots and everything for the Licking County Jail. So now Griff is, he's like the main editor kind of guy that, splices everything together and does the cool like graphics and stuff like that. So he's hard at work on that guy. And I'm reviewing Trans Allegheny right now. So which has been pretty interesting. That building, like I thought Edinburgh was, kind of foreboding and creepy, but like that building really took it to another level. It was very uncomfortable there. It was very dark and very just kind of icky feeling. Um, and I think I've reviewed the camera shots from Griffin's camera. I think there's been five or six like completely just disembodied voices that I've heard on his audio so far. So um, it's certainly living up to its reputation so far, at least from the evidence review. So it's a very spooky place, and I'd recommend if you're into obviously if you're into paranormal stuff,
Oh
it's
yeah.
it's one of the best places I think. So it's best place I've been to. So
Yeah, it's definitely on the list for a future trip. We were gonna do it this year, but just with the timing of when we were gonna go,
hmm
it just didn't really align with the end of summer and the starting of the school year, and
sure,
would
yeah,
have been a little too much. So that'll get happen probably next year.
yeah. Well, and and not to keep talking about your last episode, but I know you guys talked about it there too. Like some of these places are just so costly too. It's like
Yeah.
several $1,000s just to get in there for a night,
Well,
So,
especially with that one, like the price, and then having to have the
yep,
insurance and all that.
yep, yep. So, and getting out there is a chore in itself too. So,
Yeah.
but definitely recommended at some point, at least once. It is quite the place, that is for sure. So,
And then you had Waverly.
I
Yeah.
love Waverly.
You know what? Obviously, it's kind of the iconic place. Everybody knows about it. It's kind of the place. I had a fantastic time there. It was certainly lived up to the billing. Um, if if you told me to pick one of those two places to go back to, I'd honestly probably say Trans Allegheny. Um, I I mean, you couldn't go wrong either way, to be fair. But um, I don't know. There's something about Trans Allegheny that I just feel like I told my brother when we left, I was like, I just feel like we kind of just, we have some unfinished business. We didn't, barely scratch the surface here, kind of
Right.
thing. Um, Waverly has a different feel to it, I thought. I don't know how you thought when you were there. Um, but
For us, it was kind of like a mixed bag because
yeah,
when we were there, it was for like a public
You
investigation. So
say
there
this
was like,
every episode. I feel like they know by now, and
well,
I'm
I
sure
know, but
he
there was
knows.
so many people there. It's just kind of like
yeah,
you didn't get the feel that we should have gotten.
yeah. Well, I feel like too with Waverly, it certainly it's had its fair share of death. Obviously, there's a lot of people that died there. But the building itself, and I've thought, me, I've thought about this since we left a lot. But the building itself was put there to really help people. It's a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And it did help a lot of people. Yes, a lot of people died, but it also helped a lot of people, recover from TB. Um, Trans Allegheny wasn't put there to help people. It was put there to lock them up and keep them away from society because they had, you know, uh, mental disabilities or physical disabilities. Even early on, like when we were going through the walkthrough, they were talking about some of the first people that were put there way, way back in the day were like women that had their like menstrual cycle, like what the heck? They just locked them up, like that's
Interesting.
crazy. So, there's clearly a difference in intent there too. So I think, and maybe that's just, your mind playing games with you, but it just feels like there's just a different vibe to it just based on that. So,
Yeah.
but,
I
but
think
I
for
don't know.
us, for going back to Waverly this year, for Natalie and I, with what we experienced last year, the little bit, it's
Mhm.
like it left us with a lot to wonder and a lot of
A
questions.
lot. I still
Sure.
think about it
So
every
yeah, it's
day.
like it's like constantly runs through my mind. So it's like I know exactly what spots I want to hit where we had stuff happen.
Yeah.
We had one thing in particular happen
Yeah,
everywhere.
and then besides the bats,
You know what?
We started on Vampirina.
We didn't see any bats while we were there.
Oh, you
Really?
lucky
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
if you watch
What?
some of my Phasm Cam videos, you'll see the bats swooping at me,
I got
and it's
one
like I didn't
come
even see
right at
them.
my face.
Oh my
All I
God.
saw was bat right in my face.
Oh my God. We did see some awfully big spiders and like some like
Ew.
jumping insects. Like when we went down in the body chute and
I walked all the way down and back up.
we did too. But that's all we did. We literally walked down and then back up because it was filled with spiders and stuff while we were
I
there.
didn't see any
Yeah,
spiders.
I think I
Oh,
saw one.
I saw maybe one.
oh, I bet I saw at least a dozen. Um,
Lucky
and there were
you.
and there were like these weird like jumping like insects. I don't even remember what they were called, but like they were huge and they were really gross and there were probably hundreds in there. It was so gross.
Awesome.
So yeah, we didn't spend a lot of time in there, unfortunately. So, but you know, I'd go back there though in a heartbeat for sure. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's been a wild ride so far, that's for sure. So
Definitely. And then you just had the Masonic Lodge video come out
yeah,
last Saturday.
yep.
Very good video.
Thank you.
Sorry, we were
Yes.
in it too much.
I was again
Oh,
there she
geez.
goes I thought this was supposed to be the roast of Grady, not me.
Oh, okay. About to turn into the roast of Matthew Willis.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked beforehand and came to this conclusion. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I see how it is.
Yeah.
yeah,
You just wait
conspiracy.
until what I haven't
Shut
planned
up.
for you.
Shut up.
Conspiracy. That lodge was really fun, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, a lot of weird stuff happened there that it kind of fits with the overall theme, of like the what you would think of if you thought of like a Masonic lodge, kind of secretive and kind of, a little weird, and we just had kind of a lot of that weird kind of stuff happen, with electronics malfunctioning, your camera IR light going on and off,
Yep.
the EMF spikes, the Estes that we did, that was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just the whole night I just feel like was just very weird. So,
Now,
but
why couldn't the spirits have gone and messed with the equipment at the bar?
That was your guys' favorite part was the music.
Oh God, don't get us started on the music.
oh
The
man.
music was so cool.
It's so loud.
I mean, in to be fair, it was a pretty good band for like, the middle of nowhere in Illinois, but it did ruin the first like half of our investigation.
Oh yeah,
So
Griff was not happy.
no, he was not. He's like, "God, I'm gonna have to edit all this out." So
I'm not gonna say that.
What?
Ugh,
Okay, no comment here.
It
Okay.
seems
Well, yeah, you really can't
like
get good EVPs with that much noise pollution.
No,
And that
no,
happened to be at like the point too, like when everybody was going in doing their solo. So that was
yep,
all shot.
yep.
Sorry to cut you off, Carrie. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying, it seemed in the investigation at the Masonic Lodge, it seemed like they got a lot of like physical experiences there. Like
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, Rachel got touched. Griffin, it didn't make it in on the video, but he got his hair pulled at one point.
Oh.
Yeah, if you guys are able to make it down there yourselves as a team, I definitely recommend it. It was a very, very weird night, very weird building. The town is amazing. Like the town people were super interested in what we were doing. I mean, Matt knows,
Oh, yeah.
Matt remembers that night, but the townspeople were super cool. The restaurant across the street is super good. Um, it's a really cool little town. But yeah, the building though, once it gets into nighttime, it's really kind of a creepy little building.
And then with that storm that rolled in too.
Oh yeah,
That was cool.
that was actually really cool. It makes me hope that I get to do another investigation sometime with a thunderstorm because that was fun.
Well, the only fun part that Grady didn't have, which obviously didn't make the video because it wasn't part of the investigation, but somebody couldn't find their phone.
No, that's
He had
right.
to go running back and forth from the card and back into the lodge trying to find his phone.
That's fun.
Yeah. Yep, we were all packed up heading out for the night, right? And I was like, "Oh my God, where's my phone?" Yeah,
You should have just left it there.
I should have. You're right.
I get a new phone.
Maybe next time. It's a good thing we found it though. So
Where was it again? I can't
it was
remember.
it was upstairs on the podium
Well,
in
that's
the
fine.
like the throne room thing, whatever. So yeah. Pretty crazy night though. It was fun. And then when we thought we heard walking downstairs and it was just the rain hitting the cellar door. So
Yeah.
oh, it was a crazy night. Good times though. That's for sure.
And I think
Do
one
you know, did they take the floor up in the temple room or just carpet over it?
I don't know. I have a feeling they probably just carpeted over it, but I don't know 100%. So, yeah.
and I think about one of the craziest parts of that trip too on the way back is the little incident we saw in the middle of Iowa along the road.
This isn't even funny anymore. Like you guys laugh about it every time it gets brought up, and it's not even
Oh
funny.
man.
I'm so sick of hearing it.
Just say we're not going to get into too much detail, but there was a certain person going to the bathroom alongside the road.
Oh,
I've heard this too many times.
It was just like only in Iowa.
don't see that in Minnesota.
But that's just all part of the experience. What you're going to see on the road as well.
I've seen worse in Illinois, traveling in the camper van.
Nice.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. Well, I'm sure our road trips this summer we're going to experience quite a bit.
Every road trip, there's got to be something, so.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, well. Yeah, good times, though.
Oh, yes. So, what do you guys have in store for this year?
Oof. Well, we're planning in the early stages of kind of planning another road trip for late summer. We're trying to get kind of around Halloween time. We'll see. I know places are
Not late summer, but okay.
It's not late summer, but
Shut
okay.
up!
We'll see. And places book up, around Halloween, obviously. So we'll see what we can figure out for that. We do have Edinburgh for 2 days in April. So we do have that.
What dates in April?
I don't remember. I'd have to look again. It's mid-April at some point.
Okay, yeah, we're going to be there
My birthday.
April 3rd,
That's-
April 3rd or 4th.
We're leaving the day after my birthday, so third.
Third.
I don't know what night we're
It's the
investigating,
3rd,
though.
so yeah,
Okay.
that's part of a 3-part investigation back to back to back.
Ooh, that'll be fun. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have that place for 2 days, which will be really interesting. Since we've been there the first time, I've always kind of wanted to just be there during the daytime just to see, how it is, what it's like,
Mhm.
So it'll be interesting. I feel like there's one other. What do we have? Oh, Malvern Manor. Yeah, Malvern. And we're doing that with Tina and Marcus.
Yeah, they seem
Um,
lucky.
yeah, we're doing that. When is that? June, middle of June sometime,
Yeah, I
I
think you
think.
said it was middle of June,
So-
or was it July?
I'd have to look again. Oh yeah, no, it's July. Yeah, I think you're right. So, but that's it. That's it for right now. We're obviously we're kind of putting feelers out there for other ones and stuff like that, but that's it for right now. So the road trip, we're tentatively looking at 3 locations, probably in like Indiana, Illinois area. So not as far east as last time, but maybe Indiana State. So we'll see. But more to come on that. But yeah, I mean, we'll get booked up here before too long, I would imagine. So
And if you do Indiana State,
You gotta
And
do
Billy Creek is
Billy
right
Creek.
there.
If you
Yeah.
do Indiana State, you gotta do Billy Creek.
And then the Stark Saloon list. Like if you do all 3, you get a little discount.
oh, okay.
Or if you just do 2 of them, you get a little discount.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. I'll have to swing that by and see maybe if we can get it in there, squeak it in there. So
Yeah, Indiana State is definitely
It's
an interesting
something.
location.
yeah.
And I want to give, a shout out to Tina. She did Indiana State by herself.
Okay, well, let's
overnight.
take a minute to give a round of applause for Tina. Ready? 3. I was gonna count you
But
guys.
yeah,
were-
I don't know how she managed to pull that off by herself.
I remember seeing her post about that, and I was like, okay,
I'm
wow.
like
I would not do that location.
by myself at night.
No.
'Cause
You
we
guys
got
were there. You guys were
was-
there during the day for just a little bit, right?
Yeah, for like an
2-3
hour.
hours, and
Yeah.
we got some interesting things going on.
Well,
Okay.
you weren't with me. You left me alone, and I had to find Jake by myself.
No, you're
yeah,
fine.
I got left alone. And I had to go find my mom's cousin alone.
The skeptic.
Yeah, the skeptic.
Is he still a skeptic?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He'll always be a skeptic.
There's no change.
That's fine. I mean,
Yeah,
keeps us honest, I mean, that's
true.
I would well, yeah, never mind. I was gonna say something, but I won't, so never mind. skepticism is a little skepticism is a healthy thing. Somebody said that one time, and it's true. So
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
yeah, unless it's coming from you.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So if you were to pick,
I already know the question.
okay, you asked a question.
Yeah,
I don't want to ask
Yep.
a question.
Matt's been talking to me the whole time.
Yeah, ask away.
I don't want to ask. It's your question.
Well, you know what I was going to ask?
Yeah, but I don't want to ask it because it's your question.
Oh, good Lord.
Okay, well, you ask a question, and I'll go back to
I
my
don't
question.
have any questions.
Okay, anywho, if you were to pick one location that would be your ultimate bucket list location, what would it be and why?
I don't mind.
Oh.
I don't know why though.
What is yours?
Winchester House.
Okay. I mean, that's a good one.
He doesn't want to go there.
Why?
I'll go there just because she wants to go
Yeah,
there,
but he doesn't want to.
it's just like, I don't know. To me, for whatever reason, it doesn't appeal.
Doesn't interest? Yeah,
No.
You're stupid.
that's fair. Man.
It doesn't appeal to you, or it scares you?
No, it just
Yeah.
scares him. It
no,
scares
it
him.
doesn't.
He's scared.
It doesn't appeal to
He's
me. I
scared.
don't know why.
He's scared.
No,
He's scared.
No,
So
no.
you'd be comfortable doing a solo in the seance room.
Yeah. Laurel, I think you're on
Looks
something
scared.
or onto something.
They do have a seance room at Waverly. Anyways, back
Back to the question.
What was the question again?
Bucket list.
Bucket list location. Boy, I mean, there's a lot to pick from. Trans-Allegheny was kind of my bucket list location before we went. But I think probably like something over in like Europe somewhere, maybe like the Dracula's castle, or some old castle maybe in like Scotland or something that's haunted. I know Lep Castle is up there.
I also want to go to Oxford Castle.
Project Fear did one. Where was it? Where they found the bones? What was that one?
That was Chillingham.
Chillingham, yeah.
We
That
just
would be-
watched that one like last night.
That'd be a good one.
It would.
I think that honestly, just the experience of being there in itself would be just crazy cool anyways.
Yeah.
But like having to do, or not having to do, but doing a paranormal investigation there would just be out of this world. So something like that. Yeah, I'd go some old castle in Europe somewhere. So yeah, maybe someday we'll see.
Yeah,
If I win the lottery, I don't know.
just sell a lot of merch.
Okay.
You got this.
You sell merch and just bring me with you.
Okay, deal.
No one's gonna want to sell merch if you're the one selling it.
Okay, then you sell the merch.
I'll sell it. Everybody will buy it.
And then we'll take Grady with us.
No. No.
She's not going to take you with.
No. I'm a nice person, so I'm not gonna take you with.
Well, all right.
Well, we'll just have to leave her behind.
Yep.
No. I'll leave you behind and take
She's
Jake.
gonna ride in the wheel well of the plane.
Oh, great.
Snakes on a plane?
Jesus. Oh God.
What was that?
I want to ask where Laurel's bucket list location would be.
Well, if you've been listening to the podcast,
Yeah.
it is the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, which would be a
Jeez.
very hard ask.
Wait,
Yeah.
Carrie's never answered this question, so we need Carrie to answer.
As soon as you said that, I was like, I remember you saying that before, so that was a dumb question. So I apologize. But that would be pretty interesting for sure. Carrie, yes.
Yes. Unfortunately, my bucket list one is off the it's not available right now. Who knows if it will be? But I really wanted to go to Sweet Springs.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it will be.
Oh,
Hopefully.
I'm watching like a hawk. If that like pops back open, I will book that tomorrow if I had to.
That's up in New York, right?
No, that's
New York? That's
no.
not even close.
Where is it?
West Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't know.
No.
Okay. For some reason, I thought it was up in like New York somewhere. Okay.
No.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. Yeah, that would be a fun place for sure.
No.
Huh. Maybe
Sweet
someday.
Springs is managed by a trust, right? Like a board.
Yeah, so the owner just passed away back in November, and since he passed away, it's just kind of gone into limbo because I don't know the full story behind it, but
Yeah.
this is kind of gone all to them, and who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's tricky. You know what though? I mean, they were making a lot of money, I'm sure, off of it, and
Yeah.
money speaks volumes. So I'm sure they'll come to their senses and open
Right.
it
And
up.
they weren't just doing paranormal stuff there. There was like weddings
Right.
and events. So
Yep.
They better reopen it because I'm still waiting on Dakota Soul.
yeah, Dakota still owes us a solo investigation there.
I'm still
Oh,
waiting.
he never did that, did he?
He did
Nope.
not.
Oh,
I've
that's
been waiting
true.
on that forever.
Hmm. Well, I guess just book a wedding there and then just pretend you're going to a wedding, but do a paranormal investigation. I don't know.
Hey, why not?
Yeah, there you go.
Around.
So when are we gonna buy a Pokegama and fix it up?
Oof. Do you have like what was it, $500,000?
It's not that much. It was 150.
Oh, it was only 150.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So off. That's funny.
It might cost that much to fix it up. I don't know,
Oh,
but
probably have you ever been there?
no, no.
Yeah, that place. I was there, what, 2020, I think.
Okay.
And yeah, that place is pretty run down. I was just outside taking pictures, and I went in there. I was only in there 10 minutes, and some old guy ran me out. He's like, "You can't be in here." He goes, "This is private property." He goes, "I'll shoot you." I'm like,
I have a feeling that
dude.
story's made up because I feel like half of them are. Or you just like make everything
Well,
sound more
private
dramatic
property,
than it is.
no trespassing.
Still, but it's like you make all of your stories so dramatic, and like some of them I've been there for, and that you add details in that did not happen or were not
Oh my
close to happening.
goodness.
Okay, you don't know these small little towns and these old people in small neighborhoods.
You're old people.
Let's not pretend, Natty, that you don't embellish stories every day of your life
I
either.
do not do that.
Mm-hmm.
I do not do that.
Yep. That's not what I hear. So.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, you're wrong.
They'll take Natty to the mountains, let her go down a few dirt roads she's not welcome on.
There you go. I like it.
Or Grady,
See-
remembers the time when you lived up in Bismarck when we went down that back road and I was taking pictures of the swing set, and you're like, "Dude, get in the car. There's like somebody coming."
That's funny.
Yeah. Oh man.
Again, I don't think it was posted no trespass or anything, but it was definitely somebody's driveway.
Yeah. I do remember that. That was fun. That was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Where's that located?
Somewhere in the outskirts of Bismarck, North Dakota.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was, yeah, we just kind of drove a direction for a while and just kind of got lost, purposely lost just for the sake of taking, just cool pictures of like derelict things and stuff. And so it was really out in the middle of nowhere. So, God. And somehow we stumbled across somebody's home and swing set and yeah.
And I was down the hill like what 20, 30 feet taking pictures, and then
Yeah.
like somebody coming in a car walk. I can't remember what it was.
Oh man. Oh, you're crazy.
You're crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, there was a. Oh
Look
yeah.
at me.
So this year, you guys gonna do any more conventions at all? Kind of like the one you just did down in was it
Ooh.
Waukesha?
Yeah, I don't know. We talked about that, not like seriously yet, but we had a lot of fun. The one in Wabasha, it was small, obviously. There wasn't like a ton of different teams and stuff, but it was a lot of fun getting to meet, some local people and even people that aren't teams, just like vendors, they sell little knickknacks and things and it was a lot of fun and I would love to do more. I don't know. We'll see. I know you guys are doing a few this year.
Yep.
Um, I don't know. We haven't planned on it, so we may not. But definitely, looking at next year, I would very much like to do a couple big ones. It would be a lot of fun. So I'll have
Yeah.
to I'll have to see what the calendar looks like, heading into next year and what time of year some of these bigger ones are at and stuff, and try and get something on the books as soon as possible. So
Yeah. Chad really wants us to do Penhurst next year for their Paracon,
yeah.
but the timing of that one is really, not ideal because it's smack dab in the middle of May. So it's like, right
Uh-oh.
towards the end of the school
I'm
year.
just
And
not gonna be sick next year. That's what I'm gonna do.
yeah.
That's not gonna
So that'd be
happen.
a
What am
that'd
I
be a good
talking
one to
about?
do. And
Yeah.
to get a vendor spot in that opens up right around Christmas time. But
Okay.
I'm just not gonna get
Christmas time for the next year, you're saying?
yeah, so this
Okay.
Christmas, that's when the vendor spots open for Penhurst next year.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yeah, that'd be definitely something to look forward to because I mean, if you get a booth or something at some of those bigger shows, like man, you could really make a name for yourself. So,
But yeah, we got what we're doing Fairfield in Indiana State,
yep.
and then we're doing the Boyd House one,
Okay. All right.
and
Cool.
then Paranormal Rockdown,
Nice.
and the Rock Island Paracon.
Okay. Is the Fairfield one? That's Fairfield County Infirmary. Is that what that
Yeah,
is?
yep.
Okay. That
But that,
might be one of our stops on the road trip this year, so we'll see.
that was
But
kind of a last minute ad because I'm like, well, we're gonna be at Post Town, and it's like 2 days
ooh.
later, and it's only 2 hours away. I'm like, why not do it? We're there.
I was just looking at Post Town's page earlier today, actually, so I'm interested to see how that goes. So that'd be a cool place.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about that location.
Yeah, again, it's a schoolhouse where, not something you would expect to be like super crazy haunted or something. So
Right.
that'll be interesting. Cool.
And then for like the Paranormal Rockdown and the Rock Island one, I'm actually not going to be at the booth, but I'm doing photography for those two.
Yeah,
I didn't know the person was gonna
So
come. I was
cool.
away
nobody.
from the booth.
Oh, do you hear this kid?
Unfortunately.
Look at her, that face.
Yeah.
Look at Emmy.
No, I'm not going to go get your sister.
God.
Let's see. What else? I can't really think of anything else.
Yeah.
What about you, Carrie?
Hmm. No. I had some. I can't like went blank there. Um so I mean these are obviously I'm kind of jumping around, but I did have a question about
Yeah.
like the most impactful experience you've had at a location.
Ooh. Probably that's tough. That's a tough question. Um, I'd have to say probably either the running that I heard at Edinburgh, um, or the Estes that we did at the Masonic Lodge, just because I got sick afterwards.
Oh,
That that has really stuck with me. It's I don't know. It was such a weird experience. You watch like, the big shows and stuff like that, and we're being affected or whatever and all that stuff, and you just kind of laugh it off or whatever, and no big deal. But I don't know, something I think something kind of got to me there. It's kind of one of those things, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm kind of a thinker, but like I keep replaying it through in my head, and I'm like, was it just, my adrenaline? Did I just kind of overdo it? Was it just kind of just I got so worked up, I made myself sick, kind of thing. But like, I'm not one to really get like overly amped up over that kind of thing, or like, just go kind of crazy to the point where I get, physically ill. So I don't know. It was such a weird experience. And then just, I didn't feel like sick while I was under, in the headphones. It was after I took them off, and I was kind of talking with people about, the what questions they were asking, because at the time I had no idea. I was just spitting out words, I had no idea what they were asking. So we were kind of trading or comparing notes, I guess, in that sense, like, what did you guys ask when I said this? And then all of a sudden it was just like, oh my God, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. And it just came up out of nowhere. And it was just like, okay, I got to get out of here. And I went, into the bathroom outside, and that was that. So I don't know. It was such a weird experience, but it was really kind of stuck with me as like, you know, so in my opinion, in my humble opinion, that this stuff is real, and that stuff can happen to you while you're doing this kind of stuff. So I think that's probably my most impactful experience so far. So
And especially there too with that session, how it affected your sister and myself also. There was like three
yes,
of us at the same table.
yes, yep, absolutely. Um,
All three of you were at the same table.
Yeah.
yeah.
You all had got felt sick and all.
They
Or was
had they had a little bit of a different kind of side effect going on, where they just felt like they weren't really in control of their bodies. Like they just kind of glossed over almost, and they just kind of were just like zombies almost.
Mm-hmm.
Where, and Matt, I mean, I know you said that you had tried to even stand up a couple times and you
Yeah, I
couldn't.
couldn't even move.
wow.
Um, and then where, then I had the kind of the physical, the vomiting afterwards. So yeah, such a weird experience. And having said that, I'd go back in a heartbeat. It was fun as
Right.
heck. But like, yeah, so I'd have to say that, and I've talked myself into it, that one. So yeah,
Well, then
So
like later on, sorry, go ahead, Carrie.
I was just gonna say, so that's kind of like one of those experiences where you're left with more questions than answers,
a
and
little bit, yeah. Like, you know, is it really, you know, like I said, I'm very grounded in like science and thinking and logic and things like that. Is it really something paranormal that affected me there, or did I really get so amped up that I made myself sick? And then I look at what happened to the people immediately to my left and immediately to my right, and it just keeps playing over and over in my head. And I'm thinking, I mean, there's got to be a rational explanation for it, but I don't have one. So, yeah, I'm stuck with questions. So, yeah.
Well, it was like how later on in the night too, when Rachel was sitting where your sister was when she got grabbed in the arm
Yes,
at that
that is
same
true. That
table.
that was at that same table. Yes. Yep. So, I I don't know. Something about that place too is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Now I really want to go back.
yeah.
Talking about it now, I really want to go back. So,
Well, let's message Jill and jump in the car and let's go.
yeah, let's go right now. I don't need to pick my wife up at the airport tomorrow. Let's just go right
Nah,
now. So,
Andrew and the girls can go do that.
Yeah, I can go do that. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll be like, wait, where's Grady? We'll
Yeah,
make a
right.
matter of ghost hunting.
Oh, that'd go over really well.
Yeah, you'd be in the doghouse with or without the dogs.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
All right, so I just have one question left before we end it.
Yeah.
So if anybody is looking to get in the field, whether they've have any experience or not, what would your advice be to them?
Um, Probably. That's a good question. I guess just to be patient. You know, it's not. This is such a cliche answer. And I feel like this question gets asked a lot. And this is kind of people's default answer, I guess, in a way. But it rings true so much that it's not what you see on television. You know, it's not a demon's chasing me and I'm running out of the building screaming and I'm being affected. I'm gonna punch this wall and all that stuff. Whatever. It's 90% of the time you're sitting there in the dark and you're talking to nothing. Okay, an outside person who has no idea what you're doing, probably thinking that you're crazy. So be patient and be be present, I guess. You know, be aware of your surroundings, be as in tune with what's going around you as you possibly can. Um, don't get so caught up in the theatrics of it all, the equipment, the gadgets, the fun, the quote unquote the fun stuff, because a lot of the time, like I said, it's just you sitting in the dark, talking into that darkness, asking for a response. And that takes patience. It takes, some intelligence. It takes you being aware of what's happening around you. And I think that's probably just the best advice that I could give, to be honest. So, yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one more thing. So in your Wednesday podcast that you do, I've seen a
Yeah.
few times kind of do a little goofy dance. Natty wants to see the little goofy dance.
Hey, I'm not doing you.
See, there he goes.
That's not dancing.
That's Grady's form of dancing.
I want to see you dance.
No, I don't.
You're gonna
Let's see
dance.
that's Grady.
You're gonna dance. Dance.
No,
Okay.
Jesus.
help me.
Yeah.
No, you don't deserve help.
Anywho,
Jesus. God. Oh, you guys
All
are
right.
funny.
So that people can see more of your sick dance moves and you get a chance to plug your socials. Tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah. So most of the stuff is on Facebook, Grey Duck Paranormal. Our full episodes, our full videos are on YouTube, Grey Duck Paranormal as well. We're also, on all the other stuff. We're on TikTok, Instagram, that kind of stuff too. But those Facebook and YouTube are where we're really kind of where our big presences are. So that's gray with an E, Grey Duck Paranormal. So
all right. Well, my friend, thanks for being on tonight.
thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute pleasure. So thank
Yes,
you.
and we will be talking sooner rather than later.
I can't wait.
All right.
Bye, people.
Have a good night.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
This has been Nightmare Stories of the Other Side, a production of Nightmare Explorers.